Ghost Train.
I was a railway fireman back in those days, working on the CPR line in Alberta. I did a hard day's work and earned me a fair wage. I was young then, and my pretty little bride was just setting up housekeeping in the little cottage that was all we could afford. Life was good, and I thought everything would continue rolling on that way. But then came that fateful day, May 1908. I was working nights that month on a rig called the Spokane Flyer. My buddy Tooey was the engineer. We were about 3 kilometers out of Medicine Hat when a blazing light appeared in front of the engine. It was another train on a collision course with us. Tooey yelled at me to jump, but there was no time. The light was right on top of us. I thought we were dead. Then, the oncoming train veered off to the right and ran past us. Its whistle blowing and the passengers staring at us through the window. But the thing is, there was only a single track in that stretch of hills, and it was the one we were on. I looked over at the shrieking, rumbling ghost train and saw that the wheels weren't even touching the ground. Though we were mighty spooked by the incident, Dewey decided to take some time off from engineering and began working in the yard. But I kept working the night shift as a fireman, not wanting some ghost train to drive me from a job I thoroughly enjoyed. A few weeks later, I was stoking the fire for an engineer named Nicholson aboard the Lethbridge Express, when we heard a shrill whistle blast through the calm night air. Now, we were on that same single track just outside of Medicine Hat when the brilliant light of the ghost train burst out of nowhere, blinding us. Nicholson, he let out a shout of terror, and I thought my heart would stop. But as before, the ghost train veered off to the right at the last possible second. I saw it race past us on tracks that didn't exist, its passengers staring curiously at Nicholson and me from out the window. Well, I'll tell you, that did it. I wasn't about to go back on the tracks after that. I did yard work for the rest of the month of May and a few weeks in June. Finally, I decided enough was enough, and I gritted my teeth and resumed my role as fireman. I was firing up an engine in the yard one evening in early July when the report of an accident came in. The Spokane Flyer and the Lethbridge Express, the very same 2 rigs I saw the ghost train aboard, had run into one another in a head-on collision on the single track 3 kilometers outside of Medicine Hat on the exact same spot where the ghost train appeared. The Lethbridge had derailed, its baggage car was destroyed. 7 people were killed in the accident, including the 2 engineers. One was my buddy Tooey, and the other was Nicholson.